crypto trader.
These are the tools of the professional trader. Candle aggregates.
Bollinger Bands.
Exponential moving average.
Moving average convergence divergence.
Stochastic relative strength index.
Linear regression angle.
Hilbert transform dominant cycle phase.
Charts are a valuable visual clue of past market pair performance and hopefully an indicator of future trade potential. So you've looked at all the charting options. You've studied the algorithms and defined your charting options display to best represent a strategy to ensure the most secure profitability. Now, it's time to write a trading script to automate this strategy, and you have come across a problem. How do you easily translate the visual chart information into usable and accurate data that can be referenced in trigger scripts? The solution is trigger tokens and the trigger token calculator. The most simple trigger tokens represent discrete candle data, as you would normally see on a candle chart. As you recall, a candle depicts the open, high, low, and close prices for any given market pair and aggregate period. A green candle occurs when the closing price is greater than the opening price, and conversely, a red candle's closing is lower than the opening. Each of the 4 candle values for this candle can be described by 4 different trigger tokens. Candle open, candle close, candle high, and candle low. To use these tokens in any trigger script, simply insert the desired token, and during script processing, the token will be replaced with a token return value.
All trigger tokens start with a $ symbol and have 2 required parameters, the exchange and market pair. For demonstration purposes, we will be using the Coinbase exchange and the BTC-USD market pair.
We have looked at 4 tokens which can be used to evaluate the data of the last candle on a 24-hour aggregated candle chart. While this data can be useful in scripts, this is not representative of a full chart. All trigger tokens may include optional parameters which can further refine the returned information and reflect more available data. For the tokens we have seen, these parameters include the aggregate and the offset.
Like the cryptocurrency charts, tokens may use any number of aggregate periods. The minimum aggregate for candles is 1 minute. The default is 1 day. Other optional aggregates include
the optional offset parameter determines how far back on the chart to retrieve the desired token data, with the default being 0, or the current period. For example, to retrieve the candle close price 30 days ago, set the candle close token aggregate today and the offset to 30. To retrieve the candle open 20 minutes from the current time, set the candle open aggregate to 1 minute and the offset to 20. When using aggregates and offsets, be aware that the offset time used by the token is determined by the selected aggregate.
During trigger script evaluation by the trigger service, the date and time will always be the current time of evaluation. The offset used by the token, however, will remain accurate even during backtesting.
Now we have seen 4 tokens and their parameters that can be used in trigger scripts. But the neuMedia crypto trader has hundreds of tokens to choose from, with many thousands of available parameters. This includes not only simple and advanced candle and charting tokens, there are also doji tokens, action tokens, real-time tokens, and more. Remembering each token and the required and optional parameters for each would seem like an insurmountable task. Fortunately, there's also an easier solution. The Trigger Token Calculator is an efficient and comprehensive tool to select, test, and incorporate trigger tokens into trigger scripts. Open the Token Calculator from the main menu. Alternatively, you can also open the calculator from the Trigger Script Editor using the Calculator button at the top right. When open from the script editor, you may select any token along with desired options and parameters to copy-paste directly back to the script without losing any trigger edits. There are 3 sections on the calculator page. In the center is the calculator window, where you can select tokens, enter optional parameters, and test formulas. On the left is the token help. This help includes both general topics and token-specific help page. To display the help page for a token, select from the help topics or simply highlight the token in the calculator. The help page will display a description of the token, how it is calculated, the optional parameters, and the shortcut name, as well as external links, where you can read more about the formula usage.
During token evaluation and trigger script compiling, the token is converted to the shortcut or minimized name. Also, the exchange name and market pair is converted to a single ID. These steps are in order to increase token evaluation performance. Though not necessary, you may also use the shortcut name and market pair ID in your scripts instead of the full name and named parameters.
At the top of the calculator window, you can select the default parameters used when using a chosen token. These defaults may be changed at any time with new tokens using the new selections. Select the exchange and exchange market pair. If you do not wish to use optional parameters, toggle the default switch. Here you can enter the aggregate and offset for the token response. When selecting a token without identifying the exchange and market pair, a temporary value will be used. These values must be manually edited and changed to a valid exchange market pair, or the token will not be validated and a processing error will occur. All available tokens are grouped by token type and selected using the tabs from the center of the calculator window. The first token tab contains the 4 basic candle tokens we have already seen: the candle open, high, low, and close. In addition, this tab also includes 7 basic statistical tokens for each of the 4 candle functions and trade volume. The basic statistical tokens include the minimum, maximum, average, median, variance, standard deviation, and kurtosis candle data for the sample. These statistical tokens all support a third parameter, the sample size. The default sample size for these is 30.
Don't confuse the sample with the offset parameter. The sample size parameter determines how large the sample is from the candle data, and is necessary to calculate the statistical range, while the offset determines where to start the range.
As an example of using this period parameter, we'll compare the average daily close price over 30 days with the same average 30 days ago. When selected, a token along with the chosen parameters appears in the token formula input area of the calculator. Press Calculate to see the result of processing the token. This formula is not just for calculating a single token, however. Many tokens can be evaluated within a formula, and any programming logic that can be used in a trigger script can be tested from the token calculator. For example, we can easily calculate the percentage change between the 2 tokens we just used. This code snippet can then be inserted and used within a trigger script. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, any chart data that can be visualized by the neuMedia crypto trader charting can be translated into a corresponding trigger token. The majority of these charting tokens are grouped into the Advanced Candle Tokens tab. To help visualize this relationship between the chart and the token, the visual chart and chart settings have an optional token series that can be displayed below the main chart. In the token series settings, you can select the advanced token and see the visual representation on the chart with optional parameters. Using the mouse, you can scroll over the chart series and see the corresponding token name for the highlighted data. As with the basic candle tokens, the advanced tokens have help available using the help panel on the calculator. Not all trigger tokens are based on historical candle data. Some are real-time, based on live data feed returned by the exchanges as they take place. These include the order book and trade tokens. Real-time tokens have no offset parameter and cannot be reliably backtested. Trigger scripts that include these tokens should also be set a priority so the script can be evaluated faster than in 1 minute per evaluation interval. Use the action tokens as you would any candle token, including here in the calculator.
Not all exchanges support order book and live trade data feeds. To see if the exchange supports various APIs, use the API test utility from the Utilities menu.
Action tokens are not visual representations of chart data, but are actual requests made directly against the exchange. These include market trades, coin balance information, coin transfers, and withdrawals. Action tokens only execute in active trigger scripts, though you may test the syntax here in the token calculator and safely backtest action tokens using the trigger backtest utility. Use the help panel to verify required parameters for each action token and also determine proper usage and restrictions for each. Finally, we will look at the processing log, which can be displayed to the right of the calculator window. Press the log button at the bottom right to display the log panel. During calculation of the token formula, this log will display various processing times, formula results, and script errors, if any are encountered during evaluation. This information is useful when debugging trigger formulas before they are used in trigger scripts. This concludes our video on neuMedia Crypto Trader Trigger Tokens and the Trigger Token Calculator. Be sure to check out the next video in this series, the Background Trigger Processing Service. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy trading.